We begin. Okay. So basically in January 1917, Wilson is wanted to form the League of Nations that could peacefully settle the war. England and France were interested, as was Russia, but Germany thought it was a silly idea and impossible to have peace without victory. And Germany, they really, look, they're deep inside France. They really want to break this stalemate. So, they decide, you know what? We haven't been sinking non-combat vessels. Basically, these guys have been getting all their weapons. They couldn't have kept up this fight. So they announced that unrestricted submarine warfare is going to go back and begin on February 1st, 1917. And from February to March, more than 6 of our merchant ships are sunk by Germany, and that's when England gives us, oh, by the way, there you go, it's the Zimmerman telegraph. What's the Zimmerman telegraph? It was a telegraph that they intercepted that Germany was telling Mexico, hey look, if you go to war with America, at the war's end, we'll go ahead and give you back all the lands that you lost during the Mexican-American War, like Texas and all that stuff. Now, England had actually intercepted this telegraph like 2 months prior, but why did they hold on to it? Well, guys, it would be the same reason. Let's say you really like a girl, or if you're a girl, you really like a guy, but they have friend zoned you. And, they'll tell you all their problems, all the fun they're having and everything like that. Anyway, let's say, you're this girl and you really like her, she friend zones you, and she's going out with this guy. We'll call him Doug. And, she'll tell, oh, Doug and I had such a great time this weekend, da-da-da-da-da-da. But then she starts saying, well, Doug, he can't go out with me on Sundays. He says he has to do stuff with his dad and, family and everything. So you go see a movie on Sunday. Why not? It's Sunday afternoon. Well, got to schoolwork, Doug? You go. You see Doug with another girl. You got your cell phone. You wait. Maybe take a picture of them holding hands. You try to get the magic shot of them kissing. Boom, you got it. Then you hold. You don't show that girl the shit. You'll still sit every day at lunch and she'll tell you about Doug and how the relationship is just degrading. And then soon, he can't go out this Saturday either, because he says his sister has a party, and he really doesn't want to, but and you just listen until things get really bad between her and Doug, and that's when you say, oh, by the way, I think you ought to see this picture. I saw it months. I didn't want to tell you, but they were waiting for the perfect time to tell America, because Wilson, is totally shocked by submarine warfare. So what happens as a result of this? Basically, Wilson, on April 2nd, 1917, goes to Congress asking for them to a declaration of war. Because he believed that submarine warfare was a warfare against mankind. And the reason why we were going to the war is because we had to make the world safe for democracy. The Senate, 4 voted no, 88 voted yes. In the House of Representatives, the first woman representative, Jeanette Rankin, and 48 others voted no, and 373 voted yes. And in December, we also declared war against Austria. Do y'all know what the next war that we got into after this one? The Clone Wars. And you couldn't tell, Woodrow Wilson is Emperor Palpatine. So, yes. You ready? The home front. Mobilizing the economy. Well, guys, this is America's first total war. What do I mean by total war? Basically, I mean that every aspect of society is around the war effort. They create the War Industries Board to coordinate resources with production. They create daylight savings time to help coordinate the railroads deliveries. And guys, once again, to make sure we're all on the same board and to kind of vilify the Germans. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I jumped over myself. Basically, the National War Labor Board was created to work with the unions to try to prevent any strikes from going on. So basically, the government promised unions, hey, we're going to hire your wages, you're going to get paid better, you're going to get your 8-hour workday, and the only deal is, the devil's bargain you got to sign is you can't strike during the war. And the unions agree to it. Now, meanwhile, we're not only the arsenal of the Allies, but we're also the breadbasket. So Herbert Hoover is put in charge of rationing food. You can only buy so much meat a week, you can only buy so much fish, so much milk, etc. Because we got to supply everybody else with it. Food is ammunition. Don't waste it. And guys, we are so spoiled that we're currently in a state of war. We don't have to worry about rationing at all. Okay, to make sure that everybody knows who the good guys are in this war and who are the bad guys, Wilson starts the Committee on Public Information, or the CPI, headed up by George Creel of the Creel Committee. And under this, more than 150,000 lecturers, writers, artists, actors, and scholars all come out championing the Allied cause, whipping up hatred of the Huns. I love it in both of these. It's always a German guy that's trying to get a woman and a baby. Stop them, you've got to. And guys, you know why, and you know, you've seen them in World War II as well, why the enemy is kind of reduced to stereotypes, like the Hun. We don't even call them German, they're the Hun. Why do we dehumanize them?
Makes it easier to hate them.
Yeah, it makes it easier to hate them, makes it easier to kill them. You're killing a thing, not a person. Destroy this mad brute. There's a German again, with culture on his club and there. Oh, a woman. In civil liberties, basically laws were passed against the use of foreign languages. You had libraries taking out German books. Bach and Beethoven aren't played in some communities. We changed the name of like sauerkraut and German measles to Liberty cabbage and Liberty measles. Frankfurters become victory dogs.